In the heart of West Africa, where trade routes crossed and ancient cities thrived, an empire unlike any other began to rise. An empire ruled not with swords, but with gold. This is the story of Mansa Musa, the emperor who became so wealthy. His generosity broke entire economies. A man who turned a remote African kingdom into the shining center of the world. Before Musa, there was Mali, a land of rivers, forests, and savannas, nestled between the mighty Senegal and Niger rivers. By the 13th century, Mali had emerged from the ashes of the Ghana Empire, uniting dozens of tribes under one banner. Its power didn't come from conquest alone. It came from something more timeless: gold. But gold needs a mind to mold it into greatness, and that mind would come unexpectedly. Musa was not born to rule. He was the deputy of Mansa Abu Bakr II, a king obsessed with the ocean. According to Arab historians, Abu Bakr believed there was another world beyond the Atlantic. So one day, he gathered a fleet of ships, some say 2,000, and sailed off, never to return. Musa, left behind as regent, suddenly became ruler, a reluctant king turned empire builder. Under Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire expanded into modern-day Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Niger, Nigeria, and even into Chad. But the real power? It lay underground. The empire was built on some of the richest gold mines in the world. Caravans loaded with gold stretched for hundreds of miles, guarded by warriors, guided by merchants, and driven by ambition. Salt flowed from the northern deserts. Gold traveled from the heart of Mali to distant lands. Together, they fueled one of the greatest trade networks in history. And Musa? He took his cut from every grain and every coin. But he wasn't content with being rich in gold. He wanted to be rich in spirit. In 1324, Musa did what few African kings before him had done. He embarked on the Hajj, the holy pilgrimage to Mecca. But he didn't go alone. He took 60,000 men, 12,000 slaves, and 100 camels, each carrying 300 pounds of gold. The procession stretched beyond the horizon, a moving city of wealth. They say in Cairo, he gave away so much gold that prices plummeted for over a decade. Gold became so cheap that inflation crippled the city's economy. Imagine that. Being so rich, your charity causes a national financial crisis. But Musa was more than a showman. He was a diplomat. While in Cairo, he met with the Sultan of Egypt, gifted him horses, gold, and courtiers. He built alliances, gained the respect of the Arab world, and put Mali on the map. Literally. In the Catalan Atlas of 1375, drawn by European cartographers, a black king sits on a throne in West Africa, holding a golden orb. That king? Mansa Musa. This was not a man forgotten in the corners of history. This was a man who rewrote it. When Musa returned, he brought more than gold and stories. He brought architects, imams, scholars, and books from across the Islamic world. He transformed Timbuktu into a center of learning. He built the Jinguereber Mosque, the Sankore University, and dozens of libraries. At its peak, Timbuktu had 25,000 students, more than most European cities at the time. To Musa, knowledge was just as powerful as treasure. He did not build walls. He built minds. In the final years of his life, Musa grew quiet. He handed over parts of his empire to his sons, but none could match his vision. He died around 1337, leaving behind a kingdom richer than any before it, or since. But his true wealth was never just measured in gold. It was in the libraries, the mosques, the roads, the peace, and the legacy he left for generations. We live in a world that worships wealth, but few today know the name Mansa Musa, the richest man in history, not just in fortune, but in faith, wisdom, and vision. His story isn't just about gold. It's about a forgotten empire, a legacy that still whispers through time, carried by the winds of Africa. If you enjoyed this deep journey into the past, hit that like button and subscribe. Let us know. Which forgotten legend should we cover next? Because history is not just kings and battles. It's the stories that shaped us and still live inside us.